So once we open Tosca, we can see the screen, right? This is the project screen. So there we can select the project, in which project we have to log into. Okay. For example, if you want to create a new project, obviously when we have to work in something in Tosca Commander, we should have a project. In the project only we can work, right? Project means it will create separate workspace. It will create a separate workspace. Whatever the work we are going to do in the Tosca Commander, it will store in the particular workspace only. So definitely we should have a workspace for working, which means it is a repository. So in that workspace only, the every the work what we are doing and what we done, everything will be stored into the particular workspace only. So the creation of workspace is also important for the working. So see, I have created these two are default. By default it will come. But after installing Tosca, I have created this Tosca demo level. In the same way, we have multiple workspaces. Like I'll show you. If you click on create new, it means it is creating a new workspace. So we have different types. Select type of repository, which means we have create single user workspace is there, SQLite is there, Oracle, MS SQL, and DB2. Based on our repository, we can select. Not all companies will use same repository, right? So based on the database, based on their usage, we can select the particular database which we are going to use, and based on that, we should create a workspace. First, I will tell you what is the use of single user workspace. The single user workspace is designed to learn the Tosca. Like this workspace can be useful for only one user. Okay, for your testing purpose, for your training purpose, like this. So if you click on the single user workspace, you can see where the workspace is going to create in your local machine. The Tosca command is in your local machine, so obviously the workspace is going to create in your local machine at this path. Tosca projects, Tosca workspaces. Okay, select. You can keep any name. Okay, you can keep any name, but that shouldn't be duplicated. Okay, then what is this one? Is use workspace template. While showing demo, I showed you, right. We have standard models, which means after installing Tosca, if you click on this one while creating workspace, if you click on this one, we will get a standard model subset, which means already we seen that we have several standard models are available in Tosca. That thing, if you click the check it only, then only we will get the standard models. Otherwise, we will not get standard models. So for that purpose only, they have enabled this. They have mentioned this option. So if you click on it, obviously the standard module subset will be going to install in this particular workspace. Clear up to here? So I'm creating single use workspace now. So this is single user workspace. Nothing is different for the single user and multiple user. Only four options will be vary. This is update all, check in all, check out and check in. You can see this. These four are in disabled state. We can't click and we can't do anything on these four options. But coming to the multiple user workspace, these are in the enabled state. These four only difference between the single user and multiple user workspace. Okay. Now I'll create multiple user workspace. So this one is for single, right? Now we're going to create a multi-user workspace. If I click on this one, you can select Oracle or you can select MS SQL. So in while selecting all these options, you can have a existing repository options, which means already in company everyone is going to use some particular repository, right? Obviously, they will create a connection string for that Tosca by default. So if you are going to create a workspace and connection string everything for the first time, no need to check out this. You need to provide every data here, but obviously they'll create everything in backend. We need to create the use the connection string for that. We need to create a workspace. So obviously we will check in this. Then we need to provide a connection string based on the server. They used to provide one connection string for us. We need to paste the connection string here, some connection string like this. Then we'll do test connection. Then the green tick will come here, which means the connection string is right. That means we are going to connect a particular repository through the connection string. They will only provide the connection string. In the same way, after that, we can give workspace name like anything. And in the same way, we need to create a slim workspace, which means, for example, assume that you have already a workspace is created, like we have a connection string there. For single user workspace, we don't have that much data in the particular workspace. But in a large projects, obviously there is a huge data in the workspace. There is a huge data in the database. If you didn't check out it, obviously for example, if the workspace having huge data, it may take half day also to create the workspace. Sometimes it may take 10 to 12 hours or to create the workspace only. Why? Because if you are using some database and if you are going to enter into the particular workspaces through the connection string, it may take too much time to load the data into local machine. You need to see, right, what is the workspace is available there. So definitely it will take too much time to load the data into your local machine. Okay. So if you click on create slim workspace, it will it will create like a without synchronization. Like you can see that you can see everything in the workspace, but those are not into sync into your local machine. Yes, Mohammed.
Sir, I have a question. As in a Slack type of repository,
Hmm.
so so if some company is using AWS, GCP, or Azure, so we can connect through that from here, or like I didn't see any option in here.
No, 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 for not that one, for the database only. For that purpose, they'll create a local. They'll maintain local database and they'll create a separate connection string for that.
Okay, so basically we cannot connect with the AWS or GCP with the Tosca,
Hmm.
or we can.
No,
Okay.
for this purpose, they can't connect with the cloud repository. They can they can create a separate repository for the local, or else they ask you to do it in your local machine by creating the multi-user workspace, and later then they will connect with your credentials are there. Then they will take the data, whatever the data they want to do, they want to take. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
so if you click on create slim workspace, everything you can see, but the things are not will sync up into your local machine. Whatever the things we have to sync up, you just right click on the particular folder, do synchronization. Then only that particular folder attributes and artifacts will be synchronized into your local machine. So obviously, if you click on create slim workspace, it won't take that much time. It may take, instead of 10 hours, it may take half an hour like that. Okay, these are for multiple users. But in SQLite is going to use for multi-user only without having database also. So if you select SQLite, you can have this option and no need to provide any connection string. You can have where is the workspace is going to create, and as usually you can provide one name for it. SQLite using existing repository. So here the repository is going to create in your local machine only. SQLite means no need to, we are not going to connect to through any repository. We are only creating separate repository in our local machine. In the same way, the workspace is going to create in the particular path the name of the workspace which we are going to create. Create workspace, clean workspace. If you want to check out, you can check out or no need. We are not using any existing repository, so no need to check out it. So if you click on this one, use workspace template is mandatory because we need standard modules, right? So SQLite, where the repository is going to create, name of the repository, and name of the workspace where the workspace is going to create. We need a template, right? Standard module. So that's why I checked it and clicking on OK. So as I said, we have two types of workspaces, like single user workspace and multi-user workspace. Single user workspace is going to use for your testing purpose, like that you can use only. But coming to the multi-user workspace, if you are connecting through any database and any connection string, same workspace everyone can see. And another option for the multi-user workspace is, if you are going to connect through any one of the connection string or any one of the database, obviously they will have a access like this. They can manage your things. They can put username and passwords and everything for you. If they can access, if they will give you access, then only you can access to the Tosca commander. But in SQLite, by default it will ask, we can log in directly. So this is a multi-user workspace. The main difference you can see, right, in the single user workspace, these four are in disabled state, right? But here these four are in enabled state. The main difference between those and this is, see, I'll tell you. For example, you are going to create a test case in particular team. For example, I'm going to create a test case here. If I want to create a test case here, definitely it should be in checked out state, which means assume that it is a repository which you are connected to particular, this is a workspace which you are connected to particular database or something. If you want to work on a particular folder, obviously it is linked to database, right? You should do checkout for that, which means you are taking this folder out from the server. Okay, you are taking this folder out from the server, so that then only you are able to do modification for this folder. I'll show you. See, at starting it will be like this. If you right click on anyone, you can see option, right? Checkout and checkout thing. Until unless you can't create anything, you can't create folders, you can't create anything here, which means these are linked to the server. If you want to do any modification in this particular project or workspace, first you should let to know to the Tosca that I'm working, I need to work on this particular folder, so it should be enabled, right? So for that we should check out this folder. See, you can see checkout option and checkout tree. Checkout means this particular folder will be checked out. Checkout tree means the whole things, what are the things are available in the particular folder, everything will be into checked out state. Checkout tree, which means all sub attributes also will checked out. If I do checkout, I can able to modify this folder only. I can create anything in this folder. If I do checkout tree, I can do modification in all the subfolders also. So I'm doing checkout. Checkout is enough for us. So now I can have option C. I have an option like create folder and everything. I can do modification. So I'm creating a test case. In the same way, now you guys are able to know that what is checkout and checkout tree. In the same way, after doing modification, for example, you have created some test case here. Okay, this test case, we assume that you have created some test case here. These test cases you have created in your local machine, right? So if you click on save it, it will be saved into your local machine only. In your local repository and everything, it is saved into your local machine only. But we have to make sure that these should be into the server also, right? So if you do check in all, after completing everything work, if you do check in all, which means we are checking everything into the server. If you do check in all, click on check in all, which means check in all finished, which means after work completion, you need to do check in all, which means all the things you have created in your local machine will be checked into the server, which means they will be reached to server. Clear? If you want to work, you need to check out the particular folder, then only those comes from the server to modify. If everything work is done, you need to do check in, then only these works, the changes what which you have made in your local machine will be updated into the server. Clear for check in and check out?
Sir, can you repeat it once again?
It will be a little bit confused, but it is easy only. See, if you want to do, for example, you are connected with a particular repository, your team having, for example, you have a team members of four, okay, four people are connected to same repository, right? Four people are connected to same repository. In the same repository, if you created a workspace with the same connection string, obviously there will be connected to repository now, so those will be in default connected to the repository in state, default state. So if you want to do any modification for the particular folder, if you want to do modification for this folder now, you want to do checkout. Otherwise, you can't modify it, you can't do anything for this. See, if I'm right click on it, I should have an option, right? Create workspace, or I mean, create test case or create folder like that. But you can't see anything. Why? Because these are synced to database only. If you want to modify anything which are linked to the database, you should do checkout, which means I am going to modify this particular test case or folder. I'm going to do create a new some things in the particular folder. So you want to do checkout for this. If you do checkout, the particular folder will be checked out. You can do modification for this folder only. If you do checkout tree, which means what are the subfolders are there, everything will be coming to the checked out state. That is the only difference for checkout and checkout tree. If I check out for this, if I right click on it exactly, you can see options. You can do whatever the work you have to do, you can do here. You can do create test case and you can work here. So after completion of work, in the same way, some other person in your team member, some other person may check out this folder, and he or she may be created another test case here. Okay, but obviously everything is connected to database now, that should be updated into database. You have created test case 2 in your local machine. right? So it is saved into your local machine. If you click on save, it will be saved into your local machine. Why? Because already you can see while creating the workspace where the workspace is going to store, right? In your local machine only it is going to store. If you click on save, it will be saved into your local machine only. But if you do check in all, if you do check in all the work you have created here will be updated into server. In the same way, some other person, your team member, he or she may have created another test case. Until unless he check in all the thing, we can't see that thing. For working purpose, if you want to do any modification, if you want to create any test cases, you should do checkout. After creation of workspaces, if you want to update these workspaces into the server also, you need to do check in all. Then only these changes will be reflected into the server. Clear in it?
Understood. Clear,
So
sir.
whenever we do the changes and we click check in all, then it's going to update in the server, right?
Yes. Until unless you do check in all, it will be saved into your local machine only. If you do check in all, it will update to the server.
And what will happen if someone else come and do the changes? Then it is going to record like who modify and which
Yes,
man.
we can see. We can see. That is the why reason they are having a access issues. Like while logging to this multi-user workspace, you can see, right, admin and username and password. So
Yes.
based on the username and password, they will restrict the access. For example, our team manager may be having access for the complete folder. In the same way, they will create some folders. For example, assume that this is your folder, this is another person's folder. They'll give you access for your folder only. You can check out your folder only. You can't access and for this remaining folders.
Okay.
They can restrict the access. They'll do like that only. They'll give you access for your folder only. For example, if you are another like in a lead position, if you are going to modify another thing also, we can do. We can check who is checked out it. For example, if you right click on it, usually you can have an option like show checkout details here, so that you can able to know that who is checked out. If you click on show checkout details here, it will show you the name who modified it. See we are modified it, right? In the same way, who modified it, you can see the name here, the recent changes. You click on this one, modified by. For example, someone is modified your test case. If you observed any changes, you can see here modified by admin, when he is modified or when he or she modified it. Okay. And one more thing is, now you're able to know that what is checkout, checkout tree, check-in. Checkout means for the working purpose, we are checking out from the server to your local machine to work. Check-in means all the changes you have done in your local machine will be updated to the server. Coming to the update all, for example, this is the thing your team, one of the team member has created. This is the thing you have created. If you do check in all, what will happen? It will be updated into server. He will also create one test case 2. He will also do check in all. Obviously test case 2 also will be stored into server. But what he did, that thing we should be able to see that, right? So if you do update all, whatever the things other people also did, whatever the things they check in all, we should see all the things by clicking on update all. So if you click update all, whatever the things all the team members are did in the particular project or particular workspace, it will be come into your local mission. You can see those in the, for example, another team member has created test case 3, test case 4. If you don't click update all, you can't see test case and test case 4, 3 and 4. If you click update all, definitely you can see 3 and 4 also, because they already updated into the server. Update all means you can take the updates from the server. You are taking the updates from the server. What is the current update, like that. So while logging to the Tosca, everyone, the first is going to do update all, which means all the changes done from the other members also, all the changes, all the work done from the other members also, we are taking update from the server, so that from the server, all the updates and everything will be synced to your local machine. While leaving, obviously you will do check in all, which means what is the work we are going to what is the work you done here will be stored into the server. So clear na update all for it, why we are using update all.
Yes.
Yes.
So these are all four only the main differences for the single user workspace and multi-user. Single user workspace means only you are only working on it, so you can't do check in, check out, update. For the multi-user workspace, we can have update all, check in all, check out all, check out. Initially, it will be little bit confusing, but later after 1 or 2 classes, you will get to know that easily. Why we need to do check out, why need to check out tree like that.
So in real-time project, we'll use only that multi-user, not single user, right? Because
Yes,
they are
multi-user. Yes, multi-user only we will use. In the same way, like I told you, we can have a who created it, who modified it, when he or she modified, and the particular unique ID. For example, you can take this folder. Every folder has unique ID. For example, you have number of folders, plenty of folders here. Or assume that you have 10 team members. Every member is going to work. In every folder, there is a tree like this. I mean, huge number of folders also there. Someone created test case here. You have to see the test case. It is linked to some particular your test case. You have to know that na, instead of going where it is test cases, standard models, T-box, JSON, array. If you have multiple names with the JSON, you maybe get confused. So if for each and every step under the attribute, Tosca have a unique ID. See this unique ID. So generally in real-time projects, they will not say this, go to the standard models, Xengines, JSON, in that you can find pop in JSON file. You can use that like that. They will share this unique ID. See unique ID. If you copy this one and go to this object and paste it here, click on OK. Obviously, it will go to particular thing. So each and everything has a unique ID, different unique ID. See. And coming to the modules, I have to show you this workspace, right? Okay. See, if you click on project thing, if you click on particular project, you can have an option, right? In home, you can have an option like project, which means the project which we have created, the workspace which we have created. See, demo multi. And one more thing I forgot to tell you. See here, if you checked out this thing now, you have checked out this thing, right? So you can see green here, which means this folder is in checked out state. Okay. For others, we are already checked out this folder, and assume that you have another 3 members. If they are trying to check out this, they can't. They can see red here. We can see green na, because we checked out this folder. But at the same time, in the same time, they will be working on the same project, same workspace na. But further, they can't check out it. They can see the red icon here. Instead of green, they will see red. Okay, they'll see red, which means there already someone is checked out it. You can't do any modification in this particular folder. So that's why we will not do checkout tree. If you do checkout tree na, every folder will be into checkout tree, but they can modify here because they will have an option that this is not in a checked out state or check. So they can modify here. Okay, the person who checked out it, for us we can see green. In the same test case, if someone is seeing this workspace, they will see red icon. They can't do anything. They can't check out it. If you can't see anything, green or red, you can modify it. You can check out it. If you do check in all, then immediately, if they take update all, immediately you do check in all, right? So obviously, it will in checkout state will be lost, like which means check in all is done. So if they take update all immediately, they can check out immediately. If unless until if they take update all, they can't see the status. So that's why update all is that much important.
Can we
Clear?
check out what TC1 or TC2 only?
Only
Only we can check out TC1 or TC2. Can we do that?
we can do whatever the test case we are going to work. We can do particular thing in real time project. We are doing like that only. We'll do.
Okay.
You can check out particular folder, particular test case. You can work on this thing.
Mhm.
That's okay. And this is the project. If you click on this project, you can see these options, which means how many sections are we are having in a particular project. We have a sections like configuration, execution, issues, modules, reporting, requirements, test case design section, test cases, planning. We may not use all these sections in real time, but we have this many sections. Okay. Execution, issues, module, reporting. Mainly we will use execution, modules, requirements, test case design, test case. Max 99% we will use 5 folders only. These are also less priority, but these 4 are common in every project. Okay. Modules, you already know where we are creating a modules through the access scan. And in the same way, test cases, where we are getting test cases by using the modules, existing modules or created modules. After creating the test case, if you want to execution report, you will execute those in the execution list so that you will get a report in a PDF or Word. Okay, test case design, it is a section for the test data. You can maintain the test data in a particular test sheets and you can map the test data to the test cases. Why I am showing this now? You have assume that you have a project. In real time, we have a project like that. They will give you one connection string. Once you log into the Tosca with the connection string, they'll create a, for example, for this project having 8 sections, right? 8 sections this project are having. You can't see these 8 sections anywhere. You can create anything, you can modify any folder. But if you right click on it, you can have an option like create component folder. Create component folder means if you click on the create component folder, if you right click on it, again in component folder you can have options like all the sections, which means in the create component folder again you can create modules, test cases, requirements, whatever you need, you can create those. I need these 4 only for particular thing, so I'm creating this. In general, in the real-time projects, they will not give you any access completely. Simply they will create in project, they will create a folder with the component and they will maintain a name like Ganesh. Santosh. Like that, they'll create a separate folders for the separate users. Okay. Then they'll create whatever the things they are going to use, they'll create sections. So they'll create component folders like this, and they will give you access for this folder only. For example, Ganesh is working on this project, and Santosh is also working on this project. The higher people will create a component folder with the name of the Ganesh and with the name of the Santosh, and they will give you access for this folder only. So obviously, to avoid the, for example, assume that you need to create a test cases in test case section. If you create in main folder, no one can't, any other people can't check out this, right? Until unless you check in all, no one can work on this. So assume that if you have your own folder, we have your own execution, everything, you will only check out this, right? So no one need to wait until you check in all these things. So that is the reason we have a option like component folder. There they'll create a component folder with your name. They'll provide access to the particular user for the particular access only, so that no one can go into your folder, no one can modify your execution list or modules or test cases. You only connect, and it will avoid the disturbances and waiting time. Okay. So the component folder is coming to the picture for this purpose. Normal folder may don't have access like don't have options like this, but the component folder have options like you can have your own individual execution list, modules, requirement, and test cases. Okay, if you have a 10 team member, they'll create a 10 component folders, and you can in the component folders obviously you can create whatever the modules whatever the sections you are going to use, you can create, and you can work on your own modules. So Ganesh will work on the test cases, modules, and execution, and Santosh will be working on their test cases, modules, and executions. Whatever the things you have created here, once you do check in, obviously they can see. They will not ask you like they can monitor it. Is a transparent na? One of the team lead you giving you some work to complete this test case. They no need to show you and asking you to show that test case which you have completed or not like that. They can simply take that once you didn't check in, they'll take update all, and they'll go to, they'll assign a work to Santosh. So they'll go to Santosh folder and test case. They can see it, they can run it. Anyone can run it. Anyone can see it. If you do check in all, obviously everything will be stored into the server. If they take update all the servers which we have made changes, they'll coming to the our local machine. Clear? What is the component folder? Why we are going to use component folder?
Clear, sir.
So this is the real-time structure, real-time process are using in projects. Okay. In the same way, they'll create another multiple component folders also. They'll create their own execution list and everything. But coming to the standard modules, see, you don't have a standard modules options here. Why? The standard, while creating the workspace, we click on checkbox, right? Which means we need a standard modules. That standard modules we can use from here only, because these are came by default with the creation of workspace. Anyone can use it. Ganesh can use it, Santosh can use it, another person also can use it. They need to just to drag and drop this. Okay. So I'm repeating it. Check in all for after doing any modification. If you want to do, if you want to take your updates into the server, you need to do check in all. If you want to do any modification for the particular test case or thing, you need to do checkout If you need, you can do checkout tree also. Update all means once all the changes are checked into the server, if you want to know all the changes which we have made, which are made by the team members also, or everything also, if you do update all the updates which are available from the server will be coming into the comes to you local machine. So these four options will be work like that. And in the same way, component folder is for your own purpose, like for your own execution list and modules. So no one will have access to your folder. They'll provide you access for you, they will restrict access for your folder only. So the workspace will not get disturbed. All the people like who are in hierarchy, they may be having access for your folder, and every folder they may be having access for project also. You can't modify, you can't check out and check out for the project also. You'll have access for your folder only. And for the standard modules, it will come with the workspace, right? Wherever you want standard modules, you can use standard module directly by dragging and dropping it. You no need to do checkout, all check-in and everything. For the modules, you can use directly by dragging and dropping it. No need to do checkout also for standard module. Any questions here?
Oh, sir.
So can anyone say that why we need to use check-in all? Say these four: check-in all, checkout, and update all.
Check in all.
Checkout tree for if you need to do modification in particular folder, then we'll do checkout tree. But on checkout, we can use it for the all the folder we going to use. And check in all, we are going to update whatever changes we did to the update in the servers. We click check in all, and update all. Whoever does the modification is going to update to the local machine, so we can see everyone's work, whatever changes they have done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For the component folder, any other person? What is component folder?
Component folder is to create a folder for a particular person to use all the
Section.
all like modules and all in one place.
Okay. And any other person regarding about workspaces? How many workspaces we have? What is the difference between two workspaces?
We have two workspaces like single user and multi-user workspace. Single user is for only we can use for a single person, and multi-user for we can use it for multiple persons. That's it.
Okay. I checked out this folder, so I can see green. If someone is saying it at the same time, someone is open Tosca at the same time, at which color it will show?
It will show
For others. For us, it is green. For others,
it will be red.
red color. So they can do checkout or they can't.
They have to do update all.
If you do check in all, then they have to do update all. If you don't do check in all, until unless if you do check in all, if they take update also, they can't modify, because if you do check in all, then only this will be updated into the server. If they take update all, then the changes are reflected to them, then they can do checkout. And one more thing, unique ID. If you want to know if you are working on particular project, you have plenty of test cases, plenty of folders. So if someone is instructing you to go refer the test case for the particular process, we can use unique ID. Each and every step has unique ID in Tosca. So if you want to go to unique ID, which option we can use to search? one of my team members shared me this unique ID. So I just received this through Teams or mail. I want to search this unique ID. Can anyone say?
Click on search button.
No.
We will go to the standard module exam, and after that we'll go to the open JSON, and finally go to the object.
Can you get me now?
Go to the standard model exam. After that, go to the open JSON. Next step, copy and paste the object.
No,
Object is there for.
I think you didn't get my question. For example, I have a unique ID. Assume that this unique ID I have received from my teammate, or some other unique ID I have received from my teammate. Which option use it to for searching? Where I can search with the unique ID. I have unique ID. I want to search that unique ID. Okay, I don't want to drag it.
Test cases.
See, if you click on this object, you can paste the unique ID, whatever they have given. At home menu, you can have an option like object. Go to the object. See, jumps to an object identified by unique ID or path. Which means if you click on this object, if someone is shared unique ID, you paste it directly, it will go to the particular thing. Assume that they have shared some unique ID of this one or this one. They know where is exactly because they are working on. Assume that in Ganesh, in execution, he is working on particular thing. He shared unique ID like this. This test case you can take the reference like that. But you are working on Santosh. You don't know what he has created and what are the how many folders are there. He will just give you the unique ID. You want to search it, just go to the object in home menu. You can have an object. You can see jumps to an object identified by its unique ID or path. If you click on it, you paste it, click on OK. Automatically it will go to the particular test case or thing. Test case. So with the help of the object, you can have. In the same way, we can do it with the path also, path ID also. See, unique ID, by the unique ID, we can go in the same way. Node path, with the help of the node path also, we can go. You can by seeing it Ganesh and execution, then execution list you can go. In the same way, if you can use that path and you can paste it. If you click on OK, it will automatically it will go to the particular path. Clear for this?
Clear. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the overall Tosca and everything. As I told you, these are the options for the home menu. You can have options project where what is the project we are going to use. Scratchbook for the testing purpose you will use Scratchbook like for temporary execution. You have created one test step. You want to check that whether the test step is working fine or not. While using a Scratchbook, you can test that, and object is used to search with the unique ID or node path. And in the same way, sections you can see here also. You can have options like here. If you right click on it, you can have options here. Like for example, you can have options like here. Modules, test cases. In the same way, you can take from here also. See, if you click on here, you can see test cases, right? This is the main test case folder which comes with the project. In the test cases, if you click on this one, the main test case folder will come, the section will come. If you click on this one, this is a test case of component folder Ganesh. the test case section of component folder Santosh. Santosh components folder test case it is, and this is Ganesh folders component folders test case. In the same way, execution also you can see. You can select from here also. In the same way, you can select from here also. Okay. And update all, check all you already know. And these export and importers for simply I'll say, you have created one test case, and you have created some test cases here. If you want to export out from the Tosca, you want to create one TSV file will be created. If you do export subset, these things will be exported with some file format, .tsu file format. And if you want to import that file, you can, by using the import option, you can select that file, you can import the test cases which we have created previously. You have created this workspace, assume that this workspace got crashed, you can't log in, or something is, this workspace is going to end by this by today or like that. If you want to save those things, you can't copy paste it now, you can do export subset. And if you do export subset, all the works you have created will be stored into the particular file. You can share those files, and later when you have created new workspace, you can import it. Okay, these things you will not understand if I say now. In the same way, other options also, view, tools, and everything. Okay, tomorrow onwards, we'll go into a fully script development.